Hello, my name is Kate, and I'm here to share little snippets of my mental health story in hopes that it helps you on your journey. Today, I'm going to tell a little story about how trauma taught me that I was a poet and didn't even know it. So, about 4 years ago, I went through an episode of psychosis, and following that, I had a traumatic hospitalization where I was locked in a hospital room. And because they didn't really know how to help me in the moment, their solution was to contain me, which definitely made things worse. So once I got out of the hospital, I was plagued by very scary thoughts. I had a lot of paranoia that members of the hospital were trying to take me back there, and didn't want me to speak up. And I was just very fearful that I would be taken back to that place where I felt more like a captive than a patient. And so it was very, very difficult for me to speak and articulate what was going on in my mind. And the moment that I got out of the hospital, there was one person I requested to see after, of course, reconnecting with my loved ones. And that was a member of my, at the time, in-laws family who was a medical professional. And I wanted to see him because I wanted to let him know what was going on, the type of maltreatment that was happening. I wanted to speak for the people that were still in the hospital. And so he came. He came a very far way to see me, very lovingly. And he met with me in the basement where I felt safe. And he brought a notepad, and I wrote down because I couldn't speak about it, given it was just day one from being out. And I wrote that it wasn't a safe place. I wrote that I felt so lucky to have gotten out of there as fast as I did, because I had a huge support system behind me. And I knew that the people that I'd seen in there, they didn't have that support system, and they were kept down in many ways that I wasn't. And so I was kind of urgently trying to relay this message for him to help these people, and he assured me that I was safe, that everything was all right, and that was not something I was going to believe for a while after that. But interestingly enough, one of the main things he took from that interaction was that he went upstairs and told the rest of the family that I had a very poetic soul. Because when I was writing my paranoid scribblings, he noticed that I would indent the second line, just like I was writing a poem. And it felt interesting to be seen in that way as I was going through something so troubling. But to know that this poetic part of me was beginning to speak was really beautiful. And I've since written dozens of songs and started singing. And the process of singing has strengthened my core and my mind and healed my voice to be able to freely speak about these things that I went through. If you are so called, you can find my music under Kate the Grateful, and that's Kate with a C, on most streaming platforms, or listen to some of my a cappella tunes on my YouTube page. I urge you, if you find yourself in the same dark place, to find the most poetic version of you, to forge a creative path forward, because it is possible. So keep healing and keep creating. I love you, and I hope you have the most beautiful day. Bye.